Alrighty then, Blake. Welcome to our about 20-minute lesson on how to play the viola, for today's lesson. And the goals of today's lessons are to get you to learn how to play hot cross buttons on at least a few different strings. The best place to start is the beginning. So tell me, how much reference do you have playing a violin, viola, string instrument?
Zero. I think I tried to get an instrument when I was younger and play strings, but I just didn't end up working out. So
yeah, I hear that. So for today, we're just going to start off by discussing a few safety things about the viola. There's about 1,000,001 different ways to break it. So for starters, you got to learn the proper way to open it. You got to make sure that the bass is down, and you can tell because you're pulling these up.
okay.
If you're not pulling them up, you're going to open it upside down, and things will fall out. A few of the best ways to break a viola is to bump it, to bump the case, leave it in a hot car, or leave it outside in the cold. It's made out of a few different kinds of wood, and so it can be very temperature dependent.
Okay.
One of the first few things that we're going to establish are some of the parts. Here we've got a tuner. Here we've got some tuning pegs. These are a little bit finicky, and if you play around with them a little bit too much, they can break. So down here you have some fine tuners, which are much easier to tune with. Up here you have the scroll, and you can tell because it looks like a little piece of paper rolled up. You have your peg box, which is where all the strings connect to the pegs. Your neck. Your purfling. What I like to do to remember the name of this outline here, this black outline, is I like to go purr, do the motion with me, purr,
Purr
and fling.
and fling.
Purfling.
Perfect.
Now this black section right on top of the neck is going to be called your fingerboard. This is where your fingers go and never anywhere else. In a moment I'm going to explain the bow and whatnot. Up here you have your bridge, and this keeps the tension in your strings to keep them at a perfect pitch. Over here you have a saddle. Sorry, this is the tailpiece, and you can tell because it's near the bottom. On the inside, well, over here you have your F-holes, they look like big old fortes. And on the inside, if you look very closely, don't be afraid to touch it, you'll see a little sound post in there, a little rod. That is key to making sure that sound can vibrate through the instrument. All instrument sounds are made through vibrations. So if that's broken, then your thing is broken.
Okay.
All right, then you got your chin rest, which is more kind of your jaw rest because your jaw goes along it. And you have an additional piece which you can stick on. Now, the first step to assembling everything is you're going to flip the violin upside down. Additionally, you got the shoulder, which is kind of like up here. So once you got it flipped upside down, you can attach the shoulder rest, which is going to rest comfortably on your shoulder with this little divot.
Okay.
Now, seeing as your chin is going to be above your shoulder, the divot in the shoulder rest is going to be above the shin rest, which is up here. So you just slide one section on and the other section on. And since it bends down here, and that is above right over here, you know you've done it right. So now that's assembled. Lesson plan, parts. Hold. All right. Next, we're going to move on to our bow. We're going to learn how to hold the violin in just a moment. But, you know what a bow's made out of?
Hairs?
Out of a horse's tail.
Wow. Yeah. That's cool.
Now these kind of have little teeth jutting out of them, which is now well known. But these aren't likely to make much of a sound on the strings unless you have sort of this tree sap called rosin.
Okay.
Now, when preparing your bow, you need to keep it to a specific tension. Over here, you have a little knob which can tighten. And you can tell if this is tightening because the distance between this grows. You can tighten it or you can loosen it. When you start, you need to tighten it to a point where you can stick a pencil between the thinnest part of the hair and the rest of the bow and have it fit there comfortably.
Cool.
Yeah. So I'd like you to practice tightening it to that degree. And to make sure that your hands and the oils on your hands never ever touch the hair.
Okay.
Because that'll make it brown and then that'll make it kind of useless. So you can eyeball it and I'll just show you how well you did in just a second.
So how will you...
So increase. The space should increase.
How do you do that? Which way do you pull it?
This way, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Trial and error.
Okay. And then you take the pencil. And you're gonna try to do that.
Just a touch more, and then we're good. Now I'll apply the rosin. It's not too much typically. It's a little bit more for viola, but basically you just go max 5-6 times, unless the rosin is new and you need to break it in. If you get any stray hairs on the bow, then you just need to like pluck them off near the top.
Okay. Cool.
So now it's rosined and it will make a noise on the violin. Now, once you have your violin and you need to draw your bow across, you need to do it between this bridge and the fingerboard. Because if your fingers are down here, you're gonna wanna make sure they never intersect. So, never above the fingerboard, never above the bridge.
Okay.
All right, now that we got our bow all prepared, we are going to stand up and we are going to prepare to actually hold this. Now, before we do that, we're just going to lightly take a little demonstration. So what we're gonna do is feet together, arms at our sides, and then we're gonna follow a little process. So just follow it along with me. We're going to separate our feet a little bit wider than a right ankle. Then we're going to take a big step forward and a little to the side. Probably could have made some more room with the piano, but it's fine. It'll all be above. Just tight. Okay. Then after this, we need the actual viola. Although I would recommend maybe like a little bit more distance forward for you. All right. Now, the shoulder of the violin is up here, this area right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to, once we've brought our feet up like this, we're going to stick it out and hold on to the shoulder and hold on to the neck in a little bit. All this for support. Then after that, we're going to flip it so that the scroll is facing the bottom. We're going to put this little button up here that holds the tailpiece in place up to our ear. And then we're going to put it down so that the shoulder rest is resting comfortably along your chest and shoulder. Then we're going to put our head up, to the side, and down. And then our jaw is going to be kind of along here. And if you do it right, your jaw should be unclenched. Your violin should be above this foot. It should be pointing in all the same direction. And when you let go, it should be able to stick there.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, so feet together. Sorry, I forgot. Resting position is going to be holding it by the shoulder and then sticking it under your arm, just like that, and keeping your feet together.
All right.
So, show me rest position first. And with your feet, resting position. Resting position is feet together. All right, now let's start the process. Feet apart, little step forward, grab it by the shoulder, bring it out, nice and prepared, scroll down, button to ear, resting comfortably on your shoulder, and head up to the side and down. Let me just check your chin there. All right, jaw is along there. This shoulder rest should go along your chest a little bit. Okay, nope, put that chin back, just like you had it. If it's all along there, maybe put your chin a little bit more towards here. Yep, excellent. Now, if you're sure that the tension is good here, take your hand away just a little bit. Leave a little bit of room.
To take it.
That's okay, that's okay. Great. Just keep it close by, just in case you don't get any mishaps. All right, and we're going to practice just holding your hand a little bit farther away. All right, great. Now put it back. And we're just going to review the whole thing one more time. So, rest position. Lovely. Now, feet apart. What's the next step?
Step forward.
Mm-hmm. Then we grab it. Next step. Excellent. Next step. Button to ear. Next step, bring it on down. All right. Look at you. Excellent. Your chin, your jaw could be a little bit more along there. Great. Just a little bit more this way. Excellent. Wonderful. All right. All right. Let's put that down. Lovely. So now you know how to support that. Now, holding your bow is going to be just a little bit difficult. What you're going to want to do is to start off with, you're going to want to put them along these top knuckles. For the middle three fingers. You're just going to want to lay them along. And ideally, you should be able to put a ruler, and it's kind of all a little bit straight, but slanted, so that they're all kind of slanted. Then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put your thumb so that it's pointing into this white part here. Your top finger should be on this metal bit, and your pointer finger should be facing into this metal part, and then your pinky is going to be pointing into it. So they're both kind of pointing into it. It's kind of like a little crab. All right, let's practice that, and then I'll show you what to do with your wrist. So you're going to want to use your right hand. Lay it across your top knuckles. Close, but with your knuckles up here.
Very well.
Yeah, just slide those a little bit more along. Excellent. And you're going to want to use these fingers to wrap around. All right. Lovely. But your fingers should not, your pinky should not be straight. You should be able to tap it. Both your thumb and your pinky should be a little bit more curved. All right, great. Now your thumb is flat against it. So, yep. Look at you go. All right. All right, good. Just a little adjustment. Your pointer finger should be, the stick is about here right now. It should be facing a little bit more into here. And it should be wrapping. It's all a little bit, yeah, it's all a little, goodness. Yeah, it's all a little difficult to get right. Yeah. Didn't know there were so many steps involved, huh? Make sure that that thumb is pointing in.
It's kind of like the only way I can hold it up.
All right, so now we're going to try putting it straight up, and all of the tension should be in your pinky holding it up. So if you tilt it just a little bit to that side, your pinky should be feeling all the weight. Now bend it a little over more to that side, a little more this way, and we're kind of making a little washer motion. Now try to, now give it a little bit more this direction, probably like a 45 angle. Can you feel the weight in your pinky? All right. Good. All right, now we're gonna bend back over this way, and we're going to same distance, just a few more times. Lovely. And now we're going to try making it so that all the hairs are parallel with the floor. All right, that's good. Now back to vertical. Dude, that was so good. Give me a high five. I love how you kept your pinky bent, you kept your thumb facing in. It's going to be a little bit harder when you're also holding up the violin. So, speaking of that, would you please show me rest position once more? All right, wonderful. Now, while you're holding it in rest position, you're going to want, I love that you put your feet together. You're going to want to hold it in a similar fashion that you were, and you're going to want to have it pointing into your belly button.
But with my right hand?
Yes, with this hand. You can use your other hand to adjust it, or to hold on to it while you adjust. All right, thumb bent, pointing into it. Don't forget, you can use your other hand to support. All right. Lovely. Please take a few more seconds if you need to. All right, wonderful. Now, grab it by the shoulder. And you're going to want to take the bow out, bring the violin out, and then bring the bow back into your pinky. That is being held by the neck. So would you please go back to resting position? Lovely. All right. Now, as we remember, scroll to floor, button to ear, bring it down. All right. Chin over, and we're going to test it out just a little bit, make that hand hover just a little bit. All right. Now bring it back. Now remember, even while you're holding it with your hand, all of the support should come from your shoulder and your jaw. All right. If you'd like, you can go back to rest position. All right. And there was one step you missed. What step do you think that was?
Yeah, it's the feet.
Yep.
Okay.
Good job.
All
All right, we'll keep that in mind for next time. Now,
Okay.
for your strings, may I?
Yeah.
Just release that a little. Excellent. You can put the bow down now if you'd like. Lovely. Now, just practice this with me even while having the viola not in your hands. Legs apart. Step forward into the side. Grab your right shoulder, out. Scroll the floor. Button to ear, down. Head up, to the side, and down. Now, for your basic strings, you have your C string.
Okay.
You have your G string.
Okay.
You have your D string. And you got your A string.
C, D, A.
Mm-hmm. When you're plucking, you need to keep your, you can drop the pose if you'd like. Resting position. When fingering or plucking, you are going to put your thumb at the corner of the fingerboard here, just where the black thing is, and you're never going to drop your finger below the board. All right. So we're going to practice just a few times, or just maybe once. You're going to go C, C, and you're going to sing along. C, 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 G, 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 D, 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 It's a little tricky, I know you're a bass. All right. Now we're going to practice plucking, rest position, including feet. First step. Second step. Third step. Fourth step. Fifth step, button to ear, down, head up to the side, bam. Lovely. Now could you show me could you show me the same plucking pattern, please? Lovely. In another class, we probably would have had you I'm blanking. We would have had you tune first, but we're a little bit short on time. All right, so I'm going to support this. You just adjust your grip on it. Fingers, knuckles. All right, would you let go with your other two fingers? Just, I'm so sorry. Get your hand, place it like, do it like this. Then flip it over. You're going to lay them across hold on just a sec. Don't tighten your grip. You're going to lay it across these knuckles, if that makes sense.
Okay.
All right. Now we're just going to do some basic. Now we're just going to show you how to basically bow some stuff, and then we'll wrap up your lesson. All right. Can I see you tap your pinky on there? Lovely. Can I see you point your pinky into the bow? Lovely. Thumb is where it needs to be. Your pinky facing a little bit more in. Lovely. Stretch it out to the side. It's okay. I'm here. I'm here to catch you if you fall. Could you get your middle three fingers to wrap around it a little bit more? Lovely. All right. Now, for bowing technique, this is a little hard to do without showing you. Yeah, okay, we'll just do that real quick, if I may. Resting position. Follow me, if you would. Now, as you draw your bow along, it might be tempting to lay it flat like this. Try to imagine you're actually holding the bow in your other hand. It might be tempting to lay it flat along, but you'll get a better sound if you lay it at an angle. You will also find the best sound is produced when going in a straight line parallel to the bridge. A little bit like that. Let's see what else. Remember to keep your thumb facing into your frog right over here. Your pinky facing into it, and your other fingers wrapped around. Parallel to that, never above the fingerboard, so that way your hand oils don't mix. Never above the bridge, just as close to in the middle as you can.
Okay.
There's much more to teach you, but for now, I would love to see you try to play the A string.
Okay.
Rest position. There. Lovely. I love your pinky. I love your thumb. All right. Legs apart. Bring this out. Bam, 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 bam. Lovely. Now test it again. Test your hold. Great. Bring up your bow and wash, 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 wash. Great. Lay it along the farthest string over here. The highest string over here, your A string. Right before you play, try to keep it as still as you can. It'll be hard. Your wrist should be straight enough so that you can serve drinks on it. So if you'll bring your wrist just a little bit up without moving anything else.
Like that?
You're not moving the bow, you're just moving your wrist. So try doing this. Just wiggle it back and forth a few times. All right. Adjust your grip if needed. Try to bring your wrist up. Pinky straight. Could you tap that a few times? Lovely. All right. Your wrist is at a good angle. Oh, your wrist was at a good angle, just a little bit higher up. All right, wonderful. We'll actually go for the G string here. Lovely. And if I may take the bow from you for a second. The way you have to move your hand as you bow is you kind of move it down and up. So keep your wrist bent up here and try to do this with me. Down and up, down and up. As you open your hand, it's kind of more of a box. All right. I'll hold this so that you can adjust. Lovely. If you could play a few notes on G for me. All right, and as you pull, try to bring yourself from the bottom of the string, bottom of the bow to kind of the middle. And then back. All right, as you move towards the frog, which is the heavier part of the bow, do you think you need to make your hand lighter or heavier?
Lighter.
So that way it can create a good sound. Lovely. All right, I'd love to hear you go in a very simple rhythm. So we'll go 1, 2, just quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, now shift your weight just a little bit over to the, this is the G string. Your elbow should be a little higher, and I love the position that your wrist is taking right now. If you can just draw that back and forth. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Lovely. Can I see you do 2 notes on D and 2 notes on G? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, I'm so sorry. Your hand is on the shoulder over here, not on the strings. Wonderful. Ready? 2 notes on G, 2 notes on D, 2 notes on G. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 4. Lovely. It's a wonderful first attempt, seriously. But I'd like to hear you play each of the notes once. So, as we transition over to the C string, you're going to bring your elbow just a little bit more up, just below your wrist, and I want to hear you play the C string 4 times. Thank you for adjusting that. Lovely. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I love everything about your positioning, but you need to. But if you could just try to make it a little bit more parallel with the bridge, that would be excellent. I'm looking at it from a really head-on approach. If you could make the tip tilt a little bit more this way. Lovely. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Very close. All right, and then finally for your A string, we'll just review that real quick. Ready? Elbow still up, even if you have to kind of change your grip on it a bit. And then I'm sorry, not elbow, wrist still up, even if you have to change your grip a little bit. And your elbow should be very, very relaxed. Ready? Draw it across. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lovely. Now if I could hear you go A 4 times, G 4 times. Wait. A 4 times, D 4 times, G 4 times, C 4 times. And as you move, your wrist should never falter from here, and your elbow should go just a little bit more up for each note. All right, think you're ready? Elbow relaxed, wrist up. Ready? 2, 3, 4.
Oh wait, should I go like this or like this?
However you can keep the bow the straightest. So, show me the 2 examples again. Oh, okay.
Or like, oops.
You should start If you are opening your hand, it is called a down bow. And if you are if you are opening the gap between your hand and your shoulder, that is called a down bow. And if you are opening that gap, it is called an up bow. You should normally always start with a down bow.
Okay, so like going like this?
Mm-hmm. Ready? 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and back down. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, we're back to resting position. I know that the viola can be hard to hold up. It's a little heavier. All right. Thank you so very much for coming in today.
Mm-hmm.
You did excellently. One thing I loved is that you never let your wrist fall. Mm-hmm. And your hand position on the bow was very good throughout. Now, as for putting away the violin, a few things you need to make sure of. You need to wipe away any excess rosin because it will gladly eat at the hairs on here and the strings on here. So you'll also wipe away from that.
Okay.
If you want to avoid warping this, because if you string it way too tight, you notice how this is kind of going straight now?
Mm-hmm.
That's something you very much don't want to happen because that'll break the bow. So if you leave it strung to optimal playing position, it will also warp. So you have to loosen it up every time you put it away. You have to wipe away excess rosin. Excuse me. If I may see the violin. You wipe away excess rosin on the strings, on the bass. You very carefully take the shoulder rest off and put it back in the case. You fastly secure it into the case and you close it. What did I do wrong?
Oh, I think it's just the break.
Oh, yes. Love the shoulder rest. And thus ends our first lesson.
Awesome.
Good
Thank
job,
you. I appreciate it,
dude.
That was
Way to
fun.
go. All right,
That was a lot of
yeah.
fun. Sweet.